Hey everyone, I'm Casey Hollins and you're watching the Sportsnet Digital Dose. We've got Sportsnet.ca's baseball writer Mike Cormack in studio. Thanks for coming in.
Anytime, Casey.
There's been lots of Blue Jays buzz surrounding R.A. Dickey and the Mets and a trade this weekend continuing into today. My question for you is, what would R.A. Dickey do for the Blue Jays? What does it mean to acquire him?
Well, I think he'd probably be the ace of the staff. The Blue Jays obviously don't have a Cy Young winner on their staff. R.A. Dickey's the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner. I think he'd probably also give the Blue Jays arguably the best rotation in the American League. And he also, on top of that, giving them the best rotation in the American League, he might make them arguably the favorite to win the American League next year. The Detroit Tigers probably have a little bit of an edge right now, but the Blue Jays aren't that far behind them. Certainly on paper, we all know paper means nothing, but if you want to stack up the talent bases of all the teams in the American League, the Blue Jays have as good a talent base as any team right now.
I think some fans are probably trying not to get their hopes up too much.
Right.
On paper, the Blue Jays look like they can't, like they couldn't possibly be bad with all the work they've done over the offseason, but we don't want to speak too soon.
No, and it's the fans should be excited. The Blue Jays have made a lot of moves. I think a lot of them are still in a state of shock over what's happened so quickly. They were a 73-win team a year ago. When John Farrell left for Boston, it just seemed like the whole franchise was crumbling around them. But Anthopoulos has really done a remarkable job of turning the fortunes of the team around, like just adding an incredible amount of talent. But that incredible amount of talent came at a huge cost. There's a lot of prospects, a lot of depth in the Blue Jays minor league system that they've given up for this. But they're clearly all in for 2013. And I think that's something that the fans can be excited about, is that the Blue Jays are no longer waiting for tomorrow.
Do you think they gave up too much? Some people are saying that they did.
I don't think so. If you're at a state of the franchise's evolution where the Blue Jays think they are like a contending team, a team that can contend for the World Series next year, why not go and get R.A. Dickey? Like the Blue Jays have done it in the past when Pat Gillick was the GM. They gave up Steve Carsey to get Ricky Henderson in '93. They gave up Jeff Kent in 1992 to get David Cone. They've done it before when you're close enough. And I think more importantly in this case, when it comes to Syndergaard and Darno, the Blue Jays have depth at the minor leagues at those positions. You hate to lose guys with so much upside, but the Blue Jays still have an Aaron Sanchez behind Noah Syndergaard. They still have J.P. Aronsibi at the major league level, who's young enough and controllable enough that doesn't sting as much to give up Travis Darno. So I think the Blue Jays dealt from an area of strength. They got R.A. Dickey on a 3-year deal, which is a cheap deal given where the market's going right now. So I think it was really a no-brainer for Anthopoulos in Toronto.
Yeah, the credit goes to Anthopoulos. I want to ask, though, about another member of the Blue Jays, Ricky Romero. Essentially, with R.A. Dickey, the acquisition of him, Romero's moving down from ace to, like, 5th starter.
Yeah, and I don't think that matters much to Ricky. He said as much when the Blue Jays pulled off the big blockbuster with the Marlins. It doesn't matter to him where he slots in the rotation, whether he's the ace or the number 4 guy. He said he just wants to win. And Ricky does have a good attitude when it comes to these things. I'm sure he'd love to be the ace on a World Series contending staff. But now maybe Ricky has a bit of a chip on his shoulder going into 2013, something to prove. And there's still every reason in the world to believe that Ricky could bounce back from obviously was a disastrous 2012. And maybe Ricky Romero goes out and pitches 200 innings, and maybe he's a starting pitcher for the Blue Jays in the playoffs next year. Who knows? Yeah,
well, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Romero can talk the talk. We'll see if he can walk the walk. And if he can, this might fit perfectly. This might all work out really well. Anyway, that's all the time that we've got. Thanks so much for your insight, Mike.
No problem.
We'll be back soon with another Sportsnet Digital Dose.